Good afternoon. My name is David Shoar. I'm the elected sheriff in St. Johns County, Florida. Everybody's aware of what occurred in Dallas, Texas last night, and that's really the reason why I want to make some of the comments that I want to make. And let me begin by sharing with you a little tradition in law enforcement. When we lose a law enforcement officer suddenly, tragically, while they're on the job performing their duties, we wear a dark blue or a black shroud on our stars, on our badges, whatever we wear on our chests to represent the agency that we work for. And that shroud, we call it a mourning shroud, and it's symbolic, and a lot of what we do is symbolic, and that shroud represents the collective sadness of the profession. It's meant to demonstrate the unity, the shared unity of purpose of men and women in uniform in this country, because that shared purpose is to go out every day, 98% of us, to go out every day and try and do the right things for the right reasons. And as I awoke this morning after watching coverage last night on what occurred in Dallas, it struck me that I was going to change something at the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. We're not going to wear a dark blue or a black mourning shroud. We're going to wear a red shroud. And the reason we're going to wear a red shroud is because, quite frankly, we're beyond sad in our profession. We're mad and we're angry. Last night, I wasn't surprised by what I saw. In fact, I expected it. And I suspect a lot of people in uniform and a lot of our citizens kind of suspected it too. It's become common. Usually after a shooting where there's been law enforcement involved in a shooting. But I will tell you that we are mad, or I am mad, the law enforcement people that I talk to are mad, is because something like that should never be accepted or expected. But when you have leaders in this country, I don't care if it's at the national level, I don't care if it's at the state level, I don't care if it's at the local level. When you have irresponsible leaders who shout rhetoric and shout statistics and come up with conclusions before they have any information, before any investigation's been done, how terrible is that? We actually have national leaders that have showed up at the scenes of some of these things, that some that have been videotaped, some that have not, and within 24 hours, they got the cops as the bad people, the racists, or whatever they want to call us. Think about that. And in many of those cases, a month or two later, when all the investigating's done, cops didn't do anything wrong. Leaders are supposed to stand up and take the high road, do the investigation, hold people accountable. That's not what's happening here in America. They're ginning up this animosity. And you know, the technology's got a lot to do. I'm not going to blame the media, okay? Although I wish they wouldn't throw these videos on national television within 2 minutes of getting them. We got people taking videos today. They're uploaded within 30 seconds. They're on the YouTube. And when you first look at it, oh, it's terrible. Of course, violence is a very frightening thing, even when it wears a uniform. But nobody, you know, it takes a while to figure out what actually occurred. So many of these things that we view at first blush look terrible. I've seen some that are totally indefensible. But I mean, my God, look what we've become in this country, where our national leaders are before anything is done, before there's any investigation. So we're mad. I'm going to tell you that, you know, it's amazing to me. This morning when I came to work, who was in the lobby of the sheriff's office? It was children, dozens of them, bringing us food, bringing us Crayola drawings. They know where the safe havens are in this country. You know, I kind of, last night as I laid in bed, thinking about those men and women last night in Dallas that ran towards the gunfire, not away from it, like our citizens did, and as they should. They ran towards the gunfire, knowing full well they could lose their life, and some of them did. But as I as I laid in bed last night, I got thinking about something. What if next week we took law enforcement in this country took a day off? Everybody stays home for one day. I wonder what this country would look like. We would find out in 24 hours how people behave. We would see what parts of our communities are problems, where there's lawlessness. I can tell you, I'd have no problem with that model in St. Johns County. I live and work in a very healthy community. We would take care of our own. But what would happen? I've served in countries where there was really not that much law enforcement, and it's not a pretty sight. So how did we become what we've become? Now, you know, and it's become so predictable. Now we're going to have all of the comments, we're going to have talking heads on all the television about how law enforcement, they put their life on the line every day, and they protect and they serve. And then tomorrow they'll be talking about how we judge too quickly, or then we're going to have the group out there talking about the guns are the problem. And somewhere our national leaders are going to chime in with some stupid statistics and some stupid, reckless, outrageous rhetoric that is only meant to inflame and stir people up. But you know, at the end of the day, we're going to come to work tomorrow. We're not going to take a day off next week. We're going to come to work tomorrow because 98% of us, we're like any profession, 95, 98% all come to work every day trying to do the right things for the right reasons. We work right alongside of our fellow deputy sheriffs. We don't care what color they are. We don't care what their sexual orientation is. We all bleed red. And that may be another reason why we're going to wear red on our shrouds. So don't think from this discussion that we're going to treat our citizens any differently. We're going to go right out. We're going to do the right things for the right reasons. We're going to do everything we can to protect and to help ensure that our citizens can lead the lives that they want to lead. You know, as I close, I had a couple of my colleagues this morning. They said, you know, Sheriff, you're in the middle of an election. Why would you want to make a film that could be interpreted as controversial? Ladies and gentlemen, this is not about politics. We've got to put political expediency to the side. This has got nothing to do with Republican and Democrat and Trump and Clinton and all the rest of it. This is civilization. This is we're talking about how civilization should function. And we're not doing so well right now when it comes to the protectors, law enforcement. So I told my colleagues, elections don't really matter. What matters is that we talk to our public and we convey to them what needs to be conveyed. I'm in my 35th year of law enforcement. I'm in the sunset of my profession. I have seen such wonderful things happen in 35 years. And to see, as I'm in the sunset of my profession, to see us portrayed the way we've been portrayed is so disheartening and so disappointing. So we're not sad and gloomy. We're mad and we're angry. Now we're putting this short talk on our Facebook, and I realize it may be a little bit controversial, and we're going to have people come on and say bad things about us, but that's okay. I mean, remember last night, those cops that were killed and were sniped last night, they were out protecting the people that were protesting against them. So we understand that. And I know the media may watch this, and I can predict what's going to happen. They're going to all want to talk to me and get comments. You don't need to talk to me and get comments. You've heard what I have to say. There's plenty of other things to talk about other than what my brief comments are. So thank you very much.